You, Me, and the Family Court. A love story written in blood and legal aid by Jason, McKenzie Friend, dad and unofficial tour guide through hell. Hello, lovely people, or desperate people. Let's face it, probably both. Welcome to the most important video of your life, and possibly the cheapest therapy session you'll ever get that doesn't involve a laminated couch and a Freudian with a clipboard. My name's Jason. My official title is McKenzie Friend, which sounds like a failed 80s pop band or dodgy toothpaste brand, but it just means I help people survive family court without remortgaging their soul. Now, before we get into it, let me be crystal clear, like government promises, but honest. This video, webinar, whatever you want to call it, is not for everybody. If you're looking to play the victim while going through the villain, also being the villain, this isn't for you. If you think taking responsibility means blaming your ex louder, this ain't for you. If you believe justice is served in shouting in WhatsApp groups, I think you need to leave. If you want everything for free, it's your right as a dad, close the browser. And if you think hate wins and love loses, nah mate, we're on different planets, time to go. But if you've got enough fight in your bones to love your kids more than you hate your ex, you've come to the right digital doorstep. Let me tell you a story, and spoiler alert, it's mine. Chapter 1, childhood or emotional nutrition not included. Picture a house, not a home, a house where affection was rationed like wartime sugar. No hugs, no birthday cards, the emotional temperature permanently set to Arctic. Social services. One birthday, candles lit, singing starts, when wham, crash, batter cupboards flying across the room like it's been launched from a stretch catapults. Door slams, behind the door locked, it locked, and there's me, it followed by a plate, launched by my mum. My dad disappears, hidden behind the door, and off goes another one. Happy birthday to me. That was my last celebration I ever had. It was probably the first celebration I ever had as well, because 3 days later come the big news, big announcement. We're getting divorced. And suddenly, I'm 6-7 years old and watching the foundations of my world collapse, like a Jenga tower in an earthquake. Mum left, Dad stayed. But stayed is generous. He physically occupied the house while emotionally phoning it in, probably while literally phoning Malaysia. There was no food, just scent of the neighbour's Sunday roast taunting us like a medieval feast next door. We had gravy, just gravy, no meat, just brown sadness in a cup. Chapter 2, I become a man at 11, 10, and by man I mean unpaid child labour. I started working on the market before school at a young age. On the Fridays I'd serve produce and at dawn and study Shakespeare by dusk. To eat it or not to eat it, that was the question. I remember following my mum through the town once. She was staying in a bedsit. I begged her to come home. She gave me £1. To feed your brothers, she said. I walked away in tears, my eyes and £1 in my hand. And that was the first time I realised love hurts more than you understand it. Chapter 3, The Great Escape, featuring alcohol, ecstasy and a lamppost named Mum. With my hard-earned £30 a week, I discovered booze, and then weed, then ecstasy. And ecstasy said, hey, meet speed. Speed introduced me to paranoia, and paranoia invited me into anxiety, who's been crashing on my mental sofa ever since. By 15, I was walking cautionary tale with a GCSE timetable. But then, plot twist, sociology changed my everything. I read one stat that made my blood boil. Children from broken homes are destined for blue-collar jobs. Excuse me? Not on my watch. Blue-collar? Me? Nah, mate. I had trauma and ambition. The dream combo. So I worked. Every job. Call centres, retail, filing cabinets, factories. I once run a pub on zero sleep, but pure spite. The universe kept pelting me with curveballs, and I kept swinging. Until eventually I swung myself straight into, Chapter 4. Welcome to the family court, where hope goes to die, and hope does go to die. You think you've seen the chaos? Try family court. It's like Hogwarts for trauma. Judges are like dementors. Solicitors casting spells using legal Latin, and your ex in full Voldemort mode. And you're Ron Weasley with PTSD and the 3-inch bundle of printed 3-inch bundle you printed at 3 a.m. from gov.uk. 7 cases, a decade of war, legal fees, false allegations, the psychological equivalent of fighting a dragon with a teaspoon. My ex, she didn't just want to win, she wanted to delete me. From the house, from my child's memories, from the planet. And while a And for a while, I nearly let her. I was angry, so angry, but here's the kicker. Anger doesn't work in family court. They don't care about how right you are. They don't care about how calm you are while being gaslit like a Yankee candle. So I changed. I stopped trying to win. I started trying to heal, and that's when everything changed. Chapter 5, the comeback. No cape, just court orders. I got a shared care order, not by being a better parent, but by being the better version of myself. I learned the hard way that courts respond to composure, not chaos. And now I'm just surviving. I'm guiding others, people like you, being through what you're going through now. And I've faced the same judges, I've cried over the same forms, I've slept in the same car park, burnt myself out. Yes, I went full Hollywood breakdown, no makeup trailer, just Greg's coffee and existential dread. Chapter 6, so why am I here? Why should you be too? I'm not just a McKenzie friend. I'm your guide, your translator, your legal therapist with a mouth like a stand-up comic and the patience of a bloke who's been through the hell and built the coffee stand in hell. Just stand there. I'm not here to feed your ego, or I'm here to sharpen your sword. You won't get fluffy optimism here. You'll get the truth wrapped in sarcasm, dipped in experience, served with a side of pull yourself together, lad, because your child is watching. And one day they'll ask, what did you do when everything fell apart? You need to be able to say, I stood up, I showed up, and I loved you better than I ever hated anyone else. So, are you coming with me or not? I've laid it bare. I've got nothing to hide. No act, no script, just lived experience and the refusal to watch another good parent get chewed up by a system that couldn't spot sincerity if it danced naked in front of the judge. But I will say this. Buy my products, listening to what I say, understanding what I'm doing, understanding the direction that I put you in. If you do what you need to do, bring your pain, your passion, and your stubbornness with you. Let's turn that into power. Let's make sure your kid looks back and says, yeah, my dad or my mum, they didn't give up. Not once. You're not you're not a statistic. You're a fucking miracle. Now let's prove it. Ready to break the mold, or are you ready to? You need to go to another hearing to convince yourself. First of all, I'm ready. I'm willing, and I can help. Let's do this. Call me. Get in touch. Follow the link. Buy the product.